Sardar R.P. Singh, my first question is to you. The opposition is questioning the government. What happened after Article 370? Terrorists continue to carry out targeted killings with impunity, sir.
Gaurav, thank you for inviting for the debate. First, let's understand, the terrorists have changed their style of functioning. There's a hybrid style of functioning. Now, they are not terrorists like routine terrorists. They are people who are within these communities. They come out, they kill people, and they go back and merge with the communities. It's not that they are hiding somewhere or they're something like that. The new sort of terrorism, and then government is working on how to deal with this new sort of terrorism. One. Secondly, I know and I understand that there's a consistent killing of the Hindus or the Muslims who are supporting the government. But yes, there are killing of the terrorists also in Valley. Thirdly, sir, for the first time after 370-35A, no one is raising the flags of ISI. No one is saying Nizam-e-Mustafa. No one is pelting stones. Whereas, yes, the
so you are saying terrorists are killing, so are we. They are doing, so are we. So are terrorists in this muscular government as powerful as the government and our armed forces? You must think about this. Yana Mir, should this decision to keep minorities in district headquarters, should this have been taken earlier? Because this has been a long-standing demand. Had the government actually woken up to this when these demands were made, probably Rajni Bala, Rahul Bhatt and so many others may have been alive.
You know, that is the problem here. The problem is not that the current government has bad intentions for Kashmir. The problem is very clear that they are very slow in implementing their promises. Okay, you get the pundits here, great, you kept that promise. But you're sending them to places like Chadura, for God's sake, where even a Muslim is not safe. They come to local shopkeepers and they say, the administration, and they say, you have to have CCTVs outside your shop. And the local shopkeepers are paying from their pocket to have CCTVs outside the shop. But how come there are no CCTVs in government offices? Secondly, the intelligence failure is drastic. They say that we are killing people, we are killing terrorists, like you said, armed muscle government. But even a 10-year-old, Amreen Bhatt's nephew, you must have heard of the Amreen Bhatt, the TV artist who got shot. Her nephew, a 10-year-old kid, is saying, I don't know who you killed. Nothing is made transparent. If you just go on a killing spree, you kill people who you think have done the act,
yes,
then you're just going to have, if there's going to be no insaf, and for God's sake, if there's going to be no insaf, quick insaf, we are just going to have more terrorists coming out. For example, I'll tell you,
Constable Saifullah, you know, the way he was killed, and Safa, his little daughter, was injured. Sir, targeted killings, you should have intelligence enough. RP is saying your government, 30 years of tackling Pakistan state-sponsored radical Islamist terror, you should know that place like the back of your hand. But Ifra Jan, yes, the government is to blame. But what kind of society are we seeing in Kashmir Valley? Ma'am, is there no place for Hindus in Kashmir?
You see, Gaurav, you yourself mentioned that it's not just the Hindus, it's also the Muslims who are getting killed. So both communities at this point face a security situation where anybody can be murdered. So let's understand that point. A Kashmiri Muslim is as scared as a Kashmiri Hindu at this point. But coming to the fact that it took actually 16 cold-blooded murders for the BJP government to wake up to what the National Conference has been saying from day one. We've been shouting out our lungs out on every TV that nothing has changed post-abrogation of Article 370, and the security situation has actually gone back.
For radicalizing people more.
Yana, can I please let me respond, and then you can come in. So, you know, we have been saying, National Conference has right from day one been saying that after the abrogation of Article 370, the terrorist situation in Kashmir has actually gone from bad to worse. But it was the BJP government that would come as saying stone pelting kam ho gayi, wo kam ho gaya, without realizing the shift that the militancy has taken. And the third most important point, somebody said that, Yana said that it was the BJP government that fulfilled the promise of getting these Kashmiri Pandits back. Absolutely not. most of these Kashmiri Pandits had actually returned after 2010 during the tenure of Umar Abdullah Sahab
And
as
where
the
were they
Chief Minister.
posted during Umar Abdullah's
the
tenure?
national-
Where were they posted?
They were not getting.
Where
they
were they
not
posted
getting
during
attacked.
Umar Abdullah's tenure?
Gaurav,
Were they
Gaurav
posted
Sahab,
even in
they were not-
Chadura that time? Did they have a demand even that time? Only keep us in district
No,
headquarters?
they did not. Let me respond. No, they were not demanding. They were not coming out
Really?
and protesting.
I will show you
Kashmiri
applications
Pandits
that
were
came
not
in.
getting-
I will
Oh,
show you
please.
applications that came in 2010,
There
11.
were no such deaths happening. There were no such protests happening. If such protests were happening, why did your
There was
channel
zero
not cover them?
terrorism during
Right now, it was
during
we
the
who
Abdullah
got them
reign.
back.
The nation has hurt you.
We
There
have
was
never
zero
said there was-
terrorism
we-
during
we've
the reign
never
of the
said-
Abdullahs.
Why were they
We
posted
have
in
never
small
said
areas?
there were no. No, I mean we posted them in areas where there was no such killing spree of Kashmiri Pandits post 2010. This happened post 2019 under the BJP government's watch. During our time, there were thousands
And
of
you guys
applications
used to say,
where
don't
Kashmiri
abrogate
Pandits.
Article 370.
Here, eight
You guys
seconds.
warned.
Let me bring in RP
And
Singh.
we did not listen to the warning. The warnings were not listened to. So that's why you
No,
guys
we
unleashed this
clearly
on
said
Kashmir.
that-
Now
No,
that
what is this,
it's been announced that
your
November mein
government
elections
has
hone wale
failed,
hain,
article
so your government
application
is
is
going
failed.
all out to ensure that BJP doesn't get any votes by unleashing terror, just like it happened in 1989. And your
Are you
government
saying
disappeared
that
for 2
it is
days.
national conference
And now it's happening
that is
again.
unleashing